little knife review tonight, and another one from SCHRADE. If you follow my channel, you'll know that my most recent knife review was actually on another SCHRADE. This absolute monster, single piece fixed blade survival knife, the SCHF2. And today I'm going to do another review, and this is another of SCHRADE's higher end offerings, and this is the SCH601Ti. I must say SCHRADE don't do sort of great naming. It's all sort of letter designations, but it's all about the knives, isn't it? So let's take a look at this guy. As I say, this is one of their higher end offerings. This retails on their site for about $133, and it does come in a sort of package which really does justify that price, I think, because this is a titanium handle, D2 blade, Framelock, which is very, very nicely finished actually. So looking around the knife, as I say, you've got wonderfully machined scales in titanium, so a bead blasted, sort of slightly darkened coating, whether that's a heat finish or an anodized finish, I'm not quite sure. Matching pivot screw in exactly the same coloration. We'll come in for some close-ups in a minute. But yeah, if we start off with the handles then, so open construction, little pillars in there, which makes for both a rigid construction and also easy maintenance, so you can get in a bit of compressed air or wash it out and dry it afterwards. The pillars are nicely presented, everything's the same sort of gunmetal grey, nice Torx head fastenings there, nicely countersunk. On the flip side you've got the pocket clip. Probably one of the few criticisms of the knife I'd give is the pocket clip is only a single position, and it is in the rather unusual tip down configuration. I think most of us prefer a tip up, but nonetheless that's how it comes. The pocket clip also acts as a slight over travel stop because it's in line with the lock bar, so it does stop it somewhat over travelling. The blade is a flipper, but also with thumb studs. It runs on Teflon washers, as far as I can see in there. So it's not super quick, it's not on ball bearings, but it does come out, and it comes out, well, it comes out pretty much all the time. Give it a bit of wrist action, it comes out perfectly. The blade is a impressively thick stock, D2 as I say, which is a non-stainless tool steel, which retains a brilliant sharp edge. The non-stainless sort of factor isn't an issue because they've put this nice, consistent and thick titanium nitride covering all over it, which makes it also look sort of very nice, tactical and stealthy. The blade configuration is I guess you'd call that a ReCurve with a modified tanto tip. Nice, complicated, technical blade there. Really nicely executed, nice crisp lines. The only slight criticism I have on the fit and finishes of this blade is that the apex of the bevel on one side between the tanto and the ReCurve isn't perfectly aligned with the grind line. But as I say, generally very nice fit and finish. Lovely little swedge swinging along the whole top there. As I say, we'll come in for some close-ups in a minute. In your hand, you've got the finger flipper, if you will, acting as a choil, and then you've got a tiny little ramp, and it locks in really nicely. Very nice. So with a thick blade and titanium scales, this isn't super lightweight, but it's not heavy in the hand at all. It's very comfortable, nicely balanced, locked in, as I say, super thick stock, really nice. So as I say, the flipper comes out nicely, a tiny little bit of wrist action just to make it absolutely positive engagement. Thumb studs, even better in a way, but the flipper does offer that nice security in hand. The lock bar, sometimes you'll hear that titanium on steel lock bar interface isn't perfect. There can be a little bit of stickiness, but in this instance, no issues at all. Easy disengagement. Really, really nice. Okay, let's get in for a few close-ups. Okay, coming in for a few close-ups, you can see the really, really nicely executed, machined scales, little spacers, everything in a nice consistent sort of gunmetal grey, really spot on centering. The blade comes out nicely, see decent lock up there, relatively early, but still a lot of engagement, nice thick lock bar, jimping on the flipper tab there, jimping on the ramp, thumb studs. I actually prefer deploying the blade with thumb studs than the flipper actually. Yeah. Nicely executed grinds. The apex coming off nicely on that side. Slightly missing the point on the other, but no big issue. I've noticed that on a lot of knives. So pillar construction, nice lock bar relief. Yeah, very nicely executed. Okay, just to sort of finish off, I thought I maybe might compare it with a couple of other blades you might find familiar, just for size comparison. So first of all, we've got the Boker Patriot. So quite a size difference there, quite a bit more chunky. The blade stock, yeah, quite a lot of difference there. The Patriot's relatively slim. This is a real hand filler. We've got the really keenly valued Kershaw Entropy assisted opener, and that's very much along the same lines of the Patriot in size. Again, much slimmer blade, smaller knife really altogether, and then a bit of a gentleman's knife, the Falknevin PCX. Really nicely engineered little blade that. Reviews of all these on my channel if you want to check back, and yeah, definitely looking dainty by comparison. So yeah, hopefully that's of some use to you, and a very nice offering from SCHRADE. You know, SCHRADE, in my opinion, are a long way away from just being a budget knife maker. They do some really nicely executed and still good value knives, but at a much higher quality level. Yeah, really impressed. Nice little blade to have in the collection, something a bit different. I must admit this blade type doesn't fill me with glee in terms of sharpening, but the D2 should keep a good edge on there. And I don't think many of us will be using this sort of knife for day-to-day utility tasks, so resharpening isn't a huge consideration necessarily. Yeah, really nice. Well, do check out my channel if you're into knives. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Love you to subscribe. if you're into everyday carry, pen knives, fountain pens, quality footwear, denim, coffee, check out my channel. We might share some other common interests. And yeah, I'll see you for the next video. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.